What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. I know I'm late. Y'all. I know I'm late. I apologize for being late. But here we go again. Here we grow again on this on this finish strong Friday morning. Y'all see, I'm in the lab. I'm in the brand new lab today because it's raining outside. So I had to do my walk inside today. So that's why I'm in the lab because it's just raining out. So I'm not going walking in the rain, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm dedicated. I'll walk inside, but I'm not walking in the rain. So, but we got to get it in. Make sure you get it in any way that you, by any means necessary, you get that exercise in. Be consistent with it. Be diligent in it. Be committed to it. Be dedicated to it. All of those things on this Get It In Finish Strong Friday. Can't just say finish Friday. Finish Strong Friday. It's a thing about finishing strong. We've got to finish strong. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. That's what we do as leaders. We always finish strong. So whatever it is you got on your plate this week, finish strong with it. I got some things that I'm going to be finishing up today. I got a couple of books I'm trying to get finished, y'all. I'm going to finish at least one of them today. I promise. That's my promise to myself. I got to finish strong because I've been wanting to finish this book on my quest to read 35 books this year. I'm getting up to 50 because I know my mentor, Dr. Will Moreland, said in his research, and I think I've seen this too, that the average successful person, wealthy person, rich person reads like 50 books a year. I know Dr. Miles Monroe read, for those that are familiar with Dr. Miles Monroe, Pastor Miles Monroe, he was reading like 60 books a year. I was like, wow. When I saw that and found that out, I was like, wow. But when I look at those successful people that I am trying to, pattern my, my what I do after those successful people, Dr. Will Moreland, Bishop T.D. Jakes, President Barack Obama, Dr. George Frazier, all of these individuals that I see and that I listen to, they, Dr. Miles Monroe, they read 50, 60 books a year. And even within my circle, I'm trying to get folks to read more, even listen more. I know we're in an age now where we can listen to audiobooks, and I do that too. Part of my books is listening to audiobooks. So incorporate that in your growth and in your development. The books that you need to read in your whether it's in your industry, whether it's something that has to do nothing with you, just like to enjoy reading books. I think it goes a long way, not just from a personal development standpoint, but it also goes a long way from a just a exercising your brain muscle, because your brain is a muscle, y'all. So we have to exercise, and I can't tell you how beneficial it is for us to exercise that muscle by reading. It advances our vocabulary. It keeps the mind stimulated. All those great things. So that's enough about that. But let's jump into this. Y'all know what we've been doing all this week. It's been the brand new, the art of making the deal. The art of making the deal, not the art of the deal, like that book that y'all know that's out there, but the art of making the deal. And what I've been focusing on is the 5 characteristics of deal makers. Who are those successful deal makers that I took a look at, that I thought were phenomenal, but what they brought to the table into making the deals that they came to the table to make. So I've been talking this week, y'all know I've been talking about Mr. Clarence Avant, and just watching the Black Godfather and these characteristics that I came away from. And there's more than him, because I have like Rich Paul, that I looked at. I have his picture up there. I have Bob Johnson, who started BET. Dr. George Frazier, who is the creator of the Power Networking Conference, which actually is going on this week or went on this week. Wish I could have been. Wish I could have been there. I know it's one of the most best events, especially when it comes to Black people networking events and business events for entrepreneurs and leaders. So if you didn't get a chance to get there this year, like I didn't, but take a look at really planning for next year to be there, be a part of it. It is wonderful. I believe it's down in I want to say Houston, Texas. I think is where they're having it. But I think it was this week. But Dr. George Frazier, Mr. Donahue Peoples, Dr. King, these are all deal makers to me. And the last characteristic that I'm going to deal with today, and there are more, but these were the 5 that I wanted to take on. Knowing their why, being honorable, being a connector, yesterday I talked about never asking for permission or not asking for permission, and then today being instinctive. One of the great things about deal makers is they are instinct. I believe they use their instincts when it comes to putting the deals together. One of the things that I know with Mr. Clarence Avant in The Black Godfather, just to mention it again, if you all haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. Check it out. It's a phenomenal documentary on one of the most hidden gem people that you'll ever learn about. Because he played an integral part in so many big deals that you think about, that we know about, but he was the puppet master, if you will, behind the curtain, putting things together, putting the people together. And one of the things that I believe that he did, and that I noticed, me personally, was his instincts of connecting people. He was a great connector, but his instincts would put people together. Oh, I think this person would do well with this person. Like when he connected Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with the SOS band. When he connected Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with Janet Jackson. You know, and just these, when he connected Hank Aaron with Coca-Cola. When he was able to put the deal together with Michael Jackson, the studio for that I don't know which studio it was that did E.T. and Steven Spielberg, and making all of that deal happen so that the music box set would be put together. So all of these people that, from a business standpoint, that he being connected to Andrew Young, all of these things that he did was because of his instincts. And deal breakers, deal makers are instinctive. They rely on what their instincts tell them. So as you close out this week, as you're closing out these deals that you're doing, these deals with your product and service, with those that are going to be buying from you today, what are your instincts telling you about the next deal the deal that you're going to be making? Because your instincts, spidey sense, tells us when something feels right or feels wrong, or the energy just ain't right. And even when you think about going into that next deal, or you may have a meeting today with a potential client, a potential deal that you're trying to close out. When you sit down at that table today, what are your instincts telling you? What's the energy that you're feeling going into The Meeting. I watched the movie, and y'all know I reference movies and athletes and everything all the time. I'm sorry if that I don't know if that. Hope it helps you to relate because that's why I do it, so you can relate to it. But I was watched the movie Air, and for those that haven't watched that, that's actually on Hulu. I think it's Hulu, as well. But you can pull it up to find out where it's playing. But the movie Air, which is about Nike and Michael Jordan, the gentleman that discovered or got the deal with Michael Jordan at the time, and Michael Jordan was a college kid. He was in his sophomore year of college, and they, of course, he was pitted to go into the draft, the NBA draft in 1984. So Nike was looking for an athletes that they could sign from the NBA to be able to be to endorse to give an endorsement deal to. So the movie is about how that deal came about with Michael Jordan and Nike. But there's one gentleman that, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's the one gentleman that saw Michael Jordan being potentially the individual that he came in to be, which was Air Jordan. And it wasn't, that Michael was this great. It was his instincts that was telling him about this kid. And he watched film of Michael Jordan, and he had seen certain things about him. And there was an instinctiveness that he used that garnered him to move towards Michael Jordan. There were plenty of guys that were on their board, Nike's board, to be able to try and get endorsed, to get endorsement deals too. But it was something about Michael Jordan and this gentleman's instincts about Michael Jordan, because at the time Nike did not have any professional basketball athletes that they gave endorsement deals to. They had none. Nike at the time in 1984 was rarely known, and it was known for being a track shoe. It wasn't known for the basketball shoe that it is now. And this one deal, this instinct by this one gentleman, brought Nike to where it is today. I don't believe Nike is the company that it is if that deal with Michael Jordan is not made. And all because of this man's instinct about who Michael Jordan could be, along with Michael Jordan's mama putting the deal together and saying, hey, your shoe doesn't become the shoe that you want it to become without my son being in it. So we got to understand that as deal breakers, as deal makers, as entrepreneurs, when you're looking at that deal today and you're looking over the paperwork, you're thinking about it, what are your instincts telling you? Deal makers use their instinct. Deal makers use their instinct. And if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. If it feels good, if the energy from it feels good, then you go with that. But do what your instinct tell you. If the gentleman from Nike doesn't go with his instinct and pushes with the instinct that he was getting from watching the film of Michael Jordan and seeing how he was in college and believing that person was something that fit what Nike was trying to do at the time. And that's what you got to think too. Your instinct should tell you whether or not the deal that you're sitting down to make fits into your business, your brand, if it represents you in that way. And that's the first thing about your instinct. Your instinct should involve who you believe, you are, who you believe your product is, who you believe your brand is, and not just what it is, but what it can be and what it can grow to be. Instincts, y'all. Deal makers are instinctive. They use their instincts to guide them. And I know, as I'm thinking about, the different deals that Mr. Avant made, that the gentleman from Air made, the deals that Dr. Frazier's made, Mr. Peebles has made, being the, probably the one of the top developers, black developers, if not the top black developer, Mr. Peebles. When you're making these deals, you're doing things that you don't necessarily all the time have to. You don't know whether or not they're going to be successful. You don't know whether or not that they're going to pay off as you want them to. Yeah, we get into the deals wanting every deal to pay off, but the truth of the matter is they don't all pay off. But those successful deal makers, they make those deals that feel right. That their instinct tell them, yeah, it's something about this person. It's something about this business that I want to be in collaboration with. It's something about this partnership that my instincts are telling me I need to go with. So as a entrepreneur, you're gonna get into different deals. You're gonna be approached by different deals. And those that are good deal makers, they think about their why. They make sure that it's honorable. They look at the connection. They don't ask for permission. You don't have to ask for permission to do the deal. When you want to make it happen, you make it happen. And then you use your instincts to close it out. You use your instincts to close the deal. This is Finish Strong Friday, y'all. This is what we do. We finish strong on Friday, but we allow our instincts to be able to move us in the direction, whether it's to say no, or whether it is to say yes. Because sometimes walking away from the deal, your instincts tell you to walk away from the deal, and it can save you from a disaster. Sometimes saying no to a deal and your instincts telling you no, not to go in that direction, can save you. It may look great on paper. It may look, phenomenal. It may look like it's gonna be it's gonna be a great thing. But for some reason, you're like, it's just something that's nicking at me. It's telling me to say no. So use your instincts. Use your instincts today. That's your assignment, your homework for today. Before you make that deal, before you, contemplate getting into that partnership, ask yourself this question. Or even before you say no to a deal, because you don't want to go in the wrong direction where you miss out. Magic Johnson talked about how when he first was coming into the league, he was approached by Nike. And his instincts told him to say no to Nike, and he said yes to Converse. Why? Because Converse was a bigger name and had more athletes signed to it, and Converse was actually more of a basketball tennis shoe at the time too. But he says he looks back at that deal that he could have had with Nike and how much money he left on the table. Why? Because he said no to that deal, because he felt like his instincts was telling him no to go with Converse, and his instincts were inaccurate in that sense, and he said no to that deal and said yes to Converse. Where had he said yes to Nike, Nike probably would have been bigger by the time it got to Michael Jordan. And here's the thing with Michael Jordan, with that deal, he was good. He was really getting ready to sign with Adidas. He loved Adidas, loved the brand and everything like that. But it was something about the instinct of advice of his mother and something about the gentleman that I told you that put the deal together, that got Michael Jordan to sign. He really got his mother to sign. And mama kind of hedged Michael towards signing the deal with Nike. She was the one that put that deal together for him. But he was ready to go to Adidas. Now think about if he'd signed with Adidas. Would he be in the situation that he is in today? Let me just give y'all his deal real quick and then I'm done. His deal, this is what his mother negotiated for him from the movie Air. He got I think it was $250 million 5-year deal, and he got a Mercedes Benz. But he also got 10% of all of the Air Jordan, all of the Air Jordan products. Now that was in 1984, right? Michael Jordan earns from that deal, and it said in the thing there, he makes $400 million a year from that deal that he made in 1984 to today. He's making $400 million a year from his Nike Air Jordan or brand Jordan. That's the art of making the deal, y'all. That his instinct and listening to his mother and his mother negotiating the terms of that deal has garnered him to where he is today. All because because he took a chance, just like Nike took a chance on him. He took a chance on a brand that wasn't well known and certainly wasn't known in the basketball realm at all. But it makes him almost $500 million, $500 million, $400 million a year. So as you sit down and you think about the deals that you're making, I want you to think about not just the short term. I want you to think about the long term and what those deals look like. What does this deal look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? It's the art of making the deal, y'all. Deal makers know why they're making the deal. Deal makers try to be honorable and should be honorable in making the deal, because it should be a win-win. Deal makers are connectors and are connected. They don't ask permission, never ask permission. and they are instinctive. They go by what their instincts tell them with that deal. So today, think about it. Think about next week when you know, if you got a meeting coming up, and then you got a partnership that's coming up, you got a collaboration that's coming up. Think about it. What are your instincts telling you about it? Do your due diligence, but then use your instinct. What are your instincts telling you? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. It's Friday, y'all. I want y'all to do what I tell y'all to do every weekend. Have fun. Do something fun this weekend. Enjoy yourself. Do something fun for you. Like I said, I don't care what it is. As long as you enjoy it and it's fun for you, do it. As Nike says, just do it. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. We'll be back next week with another brand new topic. We in the brand new suite, y'all. Welcome to the suite. We'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great weekend.